Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's me. I'm back with you for the final day of the solo retreat. On tomorrow, we will be headed to Panama City and then on Wednesday back home to Maryland. So today, I am spending some time thinking about the future, how I'm going to take these lessons with me, how I'm going to integrate the things that I've learned here and make them a part of my life when I go back home. I'm sure we've all experienced this where we attend a really transformational event. We're so excited. We have so many plans. And then we get home, and before we know it, we fall back into our old patterns. And so it's important to have a game plan around how you're going to keep the magic going once you get back home. And so for me, the thing that I did first this morning was defined my priorities. So I'm thinking about the next few weeks. What are the things that are most important for me to accomplish? Because, we talked about that wheel of life yesterday. And when you think about all those areas, sometimes it's tempting to get overwhelmed. But what I suggested that you identify the priorities. I tell the ladies in the Dream Accelerator that Rome wasn't built in a day. You didn't become who you were in a day, and it's going to take some time to develop new habits and mindsets. So be patient and give yourself some grace. But anyway, I looked at what my priorities are going to be over the next 3 months. I'm sorry, the next few weeks, not 3 months. You can do it by month or by quarter, but I'm doing it over the next few weeks. So basically, month. And what goals I would set around those priorities. And you want your goals to be SMART goals. I don't know if you've ever done goal setting before. SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they're accessible, they're relevant, and they're time based. So you need to know specifically what you're going to do and by when you're going to do it, and make sure it's something that is within your capability to do. So make sure your goals are SMART goals. If you've not set goals for 2025, you can still do that. There's nothing magical about the end of the year or the beginning of the year as far as goal setting. You can start where you are. So if you need help setting goals, just type goals in the comments here and we will send you a link to the goal setting workshop. But anyway, so I defined goals around those different priorities. And then I spent some time thinking about why these goals are important. Why are these the goals that I want? How do these goals help me get closer to the life that I want? Because as you set goals, you want to always be keeping the big picture in mind. So the big picture is the dream life. And so how do these goals, these specific goals, help me get closer to the life that I want? And why are they important in this season? And then what are the steps that will help me accomplish those individual goals? I need to identify the steps, because it's one thing to say, I want to, lose 10 pounds. But it's another to say, I will do that by going to the gym X amount of days. I will do that by sleeping this much or drinking this much water or eating this much protein. The individual steps matter. And you need to know when you're actually going to execute those steps, because if it's not scheduled, it's not going to happen. And we're all so busy. So you need to sit down and identify the time that those things are going to happen. And then you need to think about the roadblocks, the stumbling blocks, because they're always going to be there. There's always a ton of distractions. And so identify in advance, what are the potential things that could prevent me or try to prevent me from achieving this goal? And you do this so that you can come up with a game plan for overcoming those things. So for a lot of us, it's things that we think or time management or things like that. And so you want to put things in place so that to help you be more successful in the long run. And then you want to review your goals. The goals that you set, you want to take them with you. They need to be written down. We talk about that all the time. And you take them with you and you review them regularly. And so, you want to have a basic framework for how you approach your life in general going forward in order to achieve goals. The first thing is to have structure. I talk a lot about a morning routine, and I didn't talk so much about that during this process, but each morning I had a morning routine before I did the solo retreat. Morning routine is vital because it sets the tone for your day before you interact with the world. When you're responding to text messages and you're reading emails and all of those kinds of things, you're allowing other people to dictate your brain space first thing in the morning. So before any of that happens, you need to set the tone. So you want to do the morning routine. And then you want to be reviewing your goals every day, out of sight, out of mind. So if you don't know what you're working toward, then you forget about it. And again, we go back into those automatic patterns. And then you want to set yourself up for success by thinking about, again, the roadblocks that are to come and the ways you're going to overcome them. And one of the best ways is to control your thoughts. If you find that you're thinking negative things, I can't do this, or this is impossible. Some of the most dangerous words in the English language, I think, in terms of reaching your goals are can't, won't, never. So if you hear yourself saying can't, won't, never, stop in your tracks and reframe that immediately, because there are very few things where those words actually apply. There is always a way, and almost nothing is never. So figure out how you can reframe that in a more positive, affirming way. We can't get bogged down in negative thoughts, because where the mind goes, the body follows. So you want to make sure that you're guarding your mind and that you're putting good things in your mind in the way of affirmations and mirror work. And then you want to celebrate the wins, because like I said, I think the first day we forget the wins that happen along the way, the successes. So, maybe you had a goal of exercising 5 times and you only exercised 3. In that case, you're tempted to feel like you weren't successful, but it might be 3 times more than you did the week before, and it's still worthy of celebration. Just remember that this is a marathon and not a sprint. I have enjoyed doing this solo retreat with, this week. I've enjoyed sharing it with you, just to give you a little glimpse into how I prepare for life and how I prepare for upcoming events. So if you have not reserved your spot for a weekend for me coming up October 2nd through the 5th in Grand Cayman, I urge you to do that today. We will be practicing radical rest there. The transformation that I'm looking for you guys is for you to return home energized, restored, and renewed, and ready to completely rock your life. So that's it for the solo retreat. I will be sharing more as we go. Take care. Bye-bye.